Our next guest has a unique way to prepare for the Oilers game. It involves spending a good amount of time and effort on his appearance before heading to the arena to support the team. Dale Steil joins us today from Dallas. He's an Edmonton Oilers superfan, the superfan of superfans. Thanks for joining us today, Dale.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Good times.
You're in Dallas for tonight's game, all set, all ready to go. How are you feeling as we head into this next matchup?
Yeah, like really good. The boys actually were buzzing around there on Thursday, right? So they were looking good. Edmonton kind of come into this series as an underdog, right? So it was good that we actually pulled out game one. So really excited for game two tonight. Looking forward to it.
So I have to ask you the story about your outfit. I understand it is quite the ensemble beyond what we can even see on screen there, and weighs quite a bit as well. Can you tell us what makes up the superfan attire and how long it takes to actually get ready for a game like tonight's?
Yeah, so I go by my alias, Banjo Guys, like my superfan name, we'll call him, right? So he's like my alternate personality. So yeah, like I got my overalls, custom painted cowboy boots, rock out all the chains, a bunch of lights. My sombrero's all kind of customed out too with a bunch of Oilers stickers and just lights blinking around. The overalls themselves, they probably have about 350 lapel pins. 40 different patches, and it comes in at about 35 pounds just for the overalls, and then plus everything else too, right on top of it. But yeah, the face paint and everything takes about like 2.5 hours, 3 hours before every game to start getting ready.
That is commitment. So why did you start dressing up like this for the games? What inspired you?
Yeah. So like two playoffs ago, we started our season tickets. Showed up for game one as just a normal fan. Me and the wife kind of went to the game, right, and I ended up losing game one. So then I kind of poked at my wife Candace. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to start painting my face and just start getting into a little bit of a spirit, right?" So my spirit animal came out a little bit heavy, I guess we'll call it, right, but a little bit of overkill. But yeah, it's So tonight will be my 102nd different face paint we've done. Just ride the wave, right? It's a lot of fun.
Amazing. And you receive a lot of attention, I'm sure, from fans when you go to these games, but I'm sure especially when you are not on a home turf.
Yeah. So luckily I've been able to go to Los Angeles for round one, Vancouver for round two, and then now we're here in Dallas. So sometimes it can get a little hostile, right? Like enemy territory, they say, right? But the fans here in Dallas have been really welcoming. I don't think they've kind of seen anything like me before, right? So kind of take it to the next level, I guess, for hockey, right? Especially being a Canadian, they kind of look at me a little different too, right? So it's a lot of fun.
Do you have to tone it down a bit when you're there, when you're, as you say, on enemy territory?
No, I like to turn it up a little bit, to be honest. I know I'm kind of by myself, which could be a little dangerous, right? But you got to let them know you're here too, right? So it's pretty fun.
Okay, so as a super fan, I have to ask you, about the team's success, which I'm sure has added some more sort of inspiration to what you're doing here. To what do you put down their success this season?
Yeah, like I know, people haven't really given much of a shot, right? Because last year Colorado swept us, or no, 2 years ago Colorado swept us in the Western Conference Final, right? So people were looking at it was cup or bust at the start of the year, and with the rough start they had till the middle of November there, right? It was looking pretty bleak to start the season, but the boys and everyone sure turned it around, right? So, if they can get through here to the Cup final, it would be just unbelievable, right? Like I know Edmonton's just bumping as a city, like everyone's really behind the team, and it's good to see a bunch of Oilers fans traveling like we do now too, right? It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, hopes are high. Just 3 games, really, 3 wins, as we are going to expect. We're going to say 3 games, but 3 wins, really, until that Stanley Cup final. So what do you think they need to do if they're going to do that?
Well, special teams has been kind of their specialty of this like playoffs, right? Their penalty kills running at like mid 90%. Power plays running about 30-40% again, right? So they got to stay out of the box when they can, and they got to score when Dallas is in the box, right? Like, and even with Stuart Skinner, like he had a phenomenal game one. I know he kind of got thrown under the bus there a little bit versus Vancouver, right? But again, the boys have been turning it around and just starting to look like a solid unit, right? So it's actually good to see blocking shots, just working as a whole unit. It's pretty good.
Okay, well, I'll have fingers and toes crossed for tonight, and we're gonna leave it to you to bring the style to the arena there in Dallas. Dale Steil, Edmonton Oilers superfan, thanks very much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it. Go Oilers. Woo!
Go Oilers.